Now, just to complicate things further, it turns out that there are quite a few different types of alien. Some are hostile, and some are friendly. The different types enable the fact that all the eyewitness reports vary wildly. So over the years, the crackpots have managed to place them in different categories. The really wild eyewitness reports have just been ignored, like the one where the aliens had heads that were giant flowers. To get over the language barrier, the aliens are, you guessed it, telepathic. Two of these types are Greys and Nordics. It's a good thing for us that our type of warfare is too primitive for these advanced cultures. But they have infiltrated the secret services of world powers. The CIA and the then KGB have both been compromised. They have these countries right where they want them. Basically, these aliens are playing both sides. And it's just a coincidence that the sightings began at the same time and place that Operation Paperclip was being run out of White Sands with the V-2 rockets. Instead, it was the splitting of the atom that caught the attention of these beings from outer space. This is where the crossbreeding enters the show, alien-human hybrids. The document says that they will start to show themselves sometime in the 1990s, give or take 30 or 40 years. So these guys have spacecraft that can look exactly like a rock, or an helicopter, or even, and this is most often the case, just be invisible. The people in the breeding programs look just like us. It's not clear whether they even know that they are part alien, and acting as sleepers. One thing is for sure, this shit can make a man ultra paranoid. Oh, and just to make matters worse, they have taken over the lunatic fringe groups as well as the Secret Service. So we are now moving deep into the tissue for tech territory. Now that the aliens have the Secret Service sorted, they can start to build somewhere to live. What better place than underneath a military base? Bill Moore, the known disinfo agent, tells us in his Roswell book that alien survivors came out of the Roswell incident. Even though he wrote the book in the 1980s, and in the 33 years preceding there was no mention of aliens linked to Roswell. If Bill says so, it must be true. Bill Moore, a UFO researcher known for his work on the UFO phenomenon, admitted to collaborating with Richard Doty, an Air Force Office of Special Investigations, OFOC agent. Doty was involved in spreading disinformation to UFO researchers and the public as part of intelligence operations. One of the most infamous instances of disinformation involving Bill Moore and Richard Doty is the alleged involvement in creating and disseminating false information about UFO sightings and government involvement in UFO research. This disinformation was intended to confuse and mislead UFO researchers and enthusiasts. Moore and Doty's disinformation tactics gained significant attention in relation to Paul Benowitz, a physicist who became convinced that he was observing extraterrestrial activity near Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico. Doty reportedly fed Benowitz false information, contributing to Benowitz's paranoia and eventual mental health deterioration. The revelations about Moore and Doty's involvement in the disinformation campaign shook the UFO research community, leading to increased skepticism about the authenticity of UFO-related information and government involvement in UFO investigations. Over time, both Bill Moore and Richard Doty publicly acknowledged their roles in disseminating disinformation within the UFO community. Moore's confession, in particular, brought to light the extent to which he had been involved in spreading false information to UFO researchers. The incidents involving these individuals serve as cautionary tales about the challenges of discerning truth from fiction in the field of ufology. Oh, and here come the implants. An anonymous woman was implanted after she saw biological material in a vat with a human male. It is historical fact that Dr. Paul Benowitz was the subject of a disinformation program. He was driven to the point of insanity by no other than Richard Doty, the guy you keep seeing on every alien program going. He was a known agent whose job it was to convince people that aliens exist. Yeah, that aliens exist. Not the other way round. I intend to cover the Benowitz fiasco another day. Now we start to get into some, well, weird shit. Here come the hybrids, big time. Growing these hybrids takes place in large tube, like the old-school test tube babies. The fetus is taken from human females at 3 months and then grown to maturity very fast, about another 3 months. Here is a basic rundown of what the fabricated papers said. By the way, both John Lear and Bill Cooper believed this shit, word for word. They purportedly describe a secret underground base near Dulce, New Mexico, where covert government and extraterrestrial activities are said to have taken place. The papers claim the existence of an underground base near Dulce, New Mexico, where humans and various extraterrestrial beings are said to collaborate on clandestine projects. The documents suggest the presence of multiple alien species at the Dulce base, including descriptions of their appearances, technological capabilities, and purposes for being on Earth. The papers describe sinister experiments conducted at the base, such as genetic manipulation, mind control research, human-alien hybrid projects, and other ethically questionable activities. Some accounts within the papers detail alleged conflicts between humans and extraterrestrial beings at the Dulce base, including reports of skirmishes and battles between different factions. The documents suggest that the U.S. government is involved in a vast cover-up to conceal the existence of the Dulce base and its activities from the public. Claims include the reverse engineering of alien technology, advanced surveillance systems, and other high-tech equipment allegedly used at the underground facility. The overall narrative presented in the Dulce papers paints a picture of a deep-seated conspiracy involving government agencies, military personnel, and extraterrestrial entities working in secrecy to achieve hidden agendas. It's important to bear in mind that it was the intelligence services that were pushing this shit. This is what they wanted people to believe. Why they would do this is not known. But they wanted the useful idiots to believe that aliens existed, not that they didn't exist. The cover-up was not real, it was invented by military intelligence, and that is a fact. This is the end of part 2 of the Krill Report.